Now, the rebound feature, what happens at this point is if you check this, the person will be asked to give their name, and when the phone system will call you, play the person's name and give you the option to accept or reject the call. If you reject the call, it then goes to voicemail. Now, another feature is this checkbox here that says I want to be able to accept more than one call at the same time. As you notice, the phone has 4 to 5 lines. Some phones have 6 lines, which means it can actually field 6 calls at one time just by placing people on hold or in conference. So what you would do is if you check this, this means when you're on the phone, you'll see another notification that someone else is calling you. If you don't check it, it will automatically follow this rule and either go to your voicemail or send the call to someone else or whatever you defined in here. For those who are on the road a lot, here's a really cool feature. Ring my mobile simultaneously. Now, I do not recommend using this feature if you're high call volume, but you have a license that's only like a 4 call or 8 call license. But let's say you're in a big company, you've got a 32, 64, 128 call license, and you want, because you're in and off, you're at your desk and moving around a lot, you want to have it ring your cell phone at the same time it rings your desk phone. Check that, click apply, and voila. When you don't want that feature, uncheck it, apply, and then it's gone. Now, here is your away status. And as you notice, everything is pretty much the same with the exception of this one section. I just say program it however you like it. You know what would happen if you set it to mobile, tell it to call an extension. All of these things are done based on what you would like. This way you don't have to call the phone administrator for something that you can actually handle yourself. Out of office. Here's a great out of office notification. You can have it set to do whatever you want to do. This will set it automatically within the system. So if I'm out of office, here, just go directly to my phone, my cell phone. And this way it automatically will go to my cell phone. Now I'm going to show you at the top, here are my statuses. Available, away, out of office, available to, out of office to. And all of these different rules are defined here. So you define whichever rules for whatever situation you like. And once you set it within the MyPhone, the phone controller is going to do what you had programmed it to do. Now, here's the big area called the exceptions. I really don't use this a lot, but it is a very useful tool. If a call comes from, let's say you put your manager's number here, you want to have it route to a cell phone or whatever you'd like to do. If it's an important call that you cannot miss, this is where you would add the exception. You could define it based on office hours or specific times, whatever you'd like to do. But I recommend for important calls, if you have a really big client that you cannot miss their call, set this up and the system knows that when this person calls, automatically follow this rule and ignore the rest of these rules. So that's the great thing about the exceptions. Now, here's the fun piece. Preferences. We all have our preference. As you notice, when that call came in, it popped up on the front because I have it set as a preference. I want my screen to flash, so no matter what I'm doing, I can see that a call came in. Other than that, you'll get a little window down on the bottom of the screen. Now this is the piece I was telling you about. When I have this set up to call using the 3CX phone, I could launch my desk phone if I was using a desk phone, but I use the 3CX, what's called soft phone, just because it works better for me. Another really cool feature is quick dial hotkey. The default is F11. Now let me show you what this means. Let's say I'm surfing a website, and let's go to Newegg. So I'm going to click on help. And Let's find contact manufacturer. Or nope, call us. This is what I'm looking for. Here's a phone number. So if I highlight that number and I hit the hotkey F11, it pulls it up in the MyPhone. If I hit enter, it'll start dialing the number. I can also use the call key here. Now this is defined here. It can be any combination. So if I want it to be Control D, I hit Control D and set it. Once I apply it, let's find that number, and I'm going to hit Control D, pops the number up, enter, and I'm dialing that number. It's a great feature. Personally, I love that feature. Saves you time from having to look at your screen and, make sure you got the number right. That's a wonderful thing. Now let's move on down to the miscellaneous. This is for telling it to what I want the 3CX MyPhone to do. I have mine set to start automatically when I start Windows, so it automatically logs in. Also, this tells me how I want to handle shared parking, which is kind of like the old analog phone system's hold button. In VoIP, when you hold, that means only you can answer, whereas in analog, anyone can answer the line. Now, here's another feature, Outlook integration. Remember I was saying earlier that if you had Microsoft Outlook, it's best to store your contacts and their numbers there? Well, let me click on just the name. I'll call this insurance. So I'll click here, and if I wanted to call the number, I would just call the number. Alright, I guess you guys can see my email. Alrighty. So basically what you do is you have a contact, and I'm going to just use a generic contact. Let's see, we'll go into contacts. Alexis, I don't know who Alexis is. You go to the 3CX and there's a mobile number. You click call mobile and it will call the person. Now up in the top of the screen you can also click this call button. So you can click on the person's name and click call. By clicking, click phone. He didn't have a phone number. So click call and it dials a number. Just like that. So it's an easy way if you have stored contacts or a shared database of contacts in Outlook, you can dial them straight from the contacts. Last but not least is the conference. I can create a conference with people in the office just by using my phone system. Now, because it's a VoIP, that office can be truly anywhere in the country as long as they have internet. So let's say you've got a field office in Timbuktu, California. Don't know if that really exists, but that's just what I'm going to call it. And a sales manager from Timbuktu, you want him in a conference. You add him, and then you create the conference. Everybody's called.
Welcome to the conference.
And he hasn't answered his phone because, of course, he's not in. So now I'm going to remove him. That phone will stop ringing. Now I'm going to remove me from the conference. And I just ended the conference. So you can kind of see what happens. If there's an external participant, you actually type in their number and create the conference. The phone system will call them. You create the name of the conference. So this could be Sales Meeting 1. As you notice here, I could actually send emails to the people for the conference, place a start time. However, I'm not going to do all of that tonight. Alright, so we've added this external number, sales meeting, I can type right, 1. We're going to add the external participant and click create.
Welcome to the conference.
Now we're going to wait until she answers. And when she answers her phone, she is now joined to the conference. Let me just yell to her and let her know that that was me. That kind of gives you an overview, a quick overview of the 3CX MyPhone. Remember, this is going to be your default screen, and this is where you place calls or whatever the case may be. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact us by either calling us at 803-350-0500 and or emailing us support@newmiracles.com. That's support@new-miracles.com. Thank you and have a blessed day. God bless you.